Hi guys, welcome to a new video on Entrepreneur Campfire. I'm Louis, and this week we're continuing into part 2 of how to set up your own Shopify store for Malaysian sellers. If this is the first video in this series that you're watching, I highly recommend you to check out part 1 of the series where I teach you how you can activate a 14-day free trial on Shopify. This way you can get unlimited access to all the powerful features that Shopify has to offer. Once you've already done that, we can get started. This week, I'm going to show you how you can set up your first product as well as your first collection inside your Shopify store. So we're back now in the Shopify store that I set up in part 1 of this tutorial, the Malaysia apparel store. As you can see, I only have 7 days left on my trial. So let's hurry up and get our product and collection pages set up. The first thing you need to do is click on Product on the left sidebar. Since this is a completely new store, you'll see that you don't have any products yet. To add a new product, simply click on Add Product. Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of blank spaces here that you need to fill up. Title, description, product status, product types, vendors, media, and so on. So if you're new to Shopify, all of these may feel foreign to you. But if you have used any kind of e-commerce platform to manage a store before, you might actually be familiar with some of these terms. So let's take a look at each of these fields one by one and help you understand what kind of information you should provide for each field. Okay, so let's start at the very top of this product page. So here you can see title. So this refers to your product title. For example, in my case, I might have a basic white t-shirt for sale. So I'll key in here, basic white t-shirt. Okay, so that's my product title. Of course, you can provide more details in your title if it makes sense. For instance, I could provide the material detail inside the title itself. So instead of only writing basic white t-shirt, I could say basic cotton white t-shirt. And if you're selling it to a specific gender, you can also indicate that in your title. For example, instead of only writing basic cotton white t-shirt, I could write basic cotton white t-shirt for men. Or I could write men's basic cotton white t-shirt. It's up to you, as long as it makes sense to you and it helps your customers understand what they're getting. Moving down, we have the description field. This is where you have the opportunity to share more about the product that you're selling. And this is where your customers can get to understand more about your product, its qualities, for example, where it's made, and some of the unique features that it has that makes it stand out from the crowd. For instance, I could add a short description like this. Made from the finest ethically sourced cotton in the world, a basic cotton white t-shirt is not only environmentally friendly, it's super comfy too. On top of text, you can even add pictures, videos, tables, and more using the HTML editor. Okay, so once you have your title and product description ready, it's time to move on to the next section called media. So media mainly refers to your product images as well as videos. So there are 2 ways of adding media to this product page. The first way is to upload it directly from your computer by clicking on Add File. The other way is to add the media by using a URL. If you don't have the image stored somewhere online already, I highly recommend just adding the file using the computer upload option. Just click on Add File, look for the product image, and upload it. Okay, if you have more images of your product, feel free to upload them into the product page. It will help your customers to get different views of your products. Or if you have close-up pictures, it will help your customers see details they might have missed from the zoomed out images. Now that you've already completed the 3 sections, the title, product description, as well as media, save your product so your changes don't get lost along the way. Okay, so moving along, the next section we need to set up is the pricing. So here all you need to do is to add your product's selling price. For example, I might be selling this t-shirt at 25 ringgit. So I'm going to key in 25 for my price. The next field is the compare at price. The compare at price is the price before discount. So this compare at price has to be higher than the selling price. Okay, so you want your customers to see value. Maybe you want to let them know, okay, there is a normal price for this product, but I'm giving you an offer for less. But let's say you don't want to give that impression. You want your customers to see, this is a good price, and I'm not giving a discount, but you can trust me enough to see that this is a valid price for this product. You can leave the compare at price empty. Okay. The next section under pricing is the cost per item. So for the cost per item, this is something for you to check internally. So if you want to make calculations for profit and margin inside Shopify, you can indicate the product cost here. It is a completely optional field, however. So if you don't want to track your margins inside Shopify, feel free to leave it blank. Finally, charge tax on this product. So if you're selling from Malaysia to Malaysians, you have to uncheck this because currently we don't have any GST tax. Or if you charge tax, you have to put the GST at 0. Okay, that is unless you are selling a product in a category that is still taxable by SST. Then you keep this checked and then configure your tax later. Okay, so in my case, t-shirts are not taxable. Okay, so I'm gonna uncheck this. Okay, now we're done with the pricing section. Let's move on to the next section, the inventory section. Okay, so here you have the first field called stock keeping unit. If you already have an offline store, you can use the same stock keeping unit. If you don't have stock keeping units yet, you can configure one. Otherwise, you can leave this blank. Okay, so the next field is barcode. So it depends on the product that you're selling. So ISBN would apply if you're selling books, for example. So it depends on what products that you're selling. If it has one of these, you can key in. Okay, so you can have both SKU and barcode at the same time. This will help you to keep track of your inventory in a very organized manner. Of course, if you have neither one and you're not planning to add them in, you can leave them blank. Okay, so underneath the inventory, you can see here, track quantity. So are you gonna track your stock by quantity? Or do you have other inventory management systems in place other than tracking quantity? So in most cases, businesses do track quantity, so I'll keep this on for my product. Okay, so the next field is continue selling when out of stock. Okay, so this is a pretty gray area, I would say. So it depends on how confident you are, okay, and what information you provide to your customers in case this product goes out of stock. Let's say, they can still place an order and you inform them later that it will be shipped out a little bit later because of stock issues, or that, this item is currently being restocked. Okay. But if you want to keep things simple and you think, I would rather that my customers don't buy a product that is out of stock, leave it blank. Okay. Okay, so since we are tracking quantity, so you have to indicate how many pieces of this product is currently available. Okay, so in my case, it is this white cotton t-shirt. How many pieces are available? Okay, you can put like 100, for example. So it totally depends on how many you have on hand right now. Okay. Okay, so finally you have the incoming option. So if you have some on hand and then some on the way, you can also configure this. Just click on this, okay, and edit transfer. Alright, so how many pieces are incoming? Alright, so let's say you've actually ordered another 100 pieces from your supplier, so you can add 100 here. Okay, and then like indicate the arrival date, maybe 1 week from today, right? Okay, so just save that. Okay, I mean this is also just optional, all right? So you don't have to do this. It's just I'm just showing you how to do it. All right. So once you've added that, just go back to your products. All right. All right. So you've added the 100 incoming here. Yeah, so that's about it for the inventory section. Okay, so next, let's look at the shipping section. So if you're selling a physical product, meaning something you have to go pack and ship with a logistics partner, make sure that this is checked, okay? So if you're selling a digital product such as an ebook or a course, you might uncheck this because it's a digital product that doesn't have any weight. You don't have to pack it and ship it out, right? So since a t-shirt is a physical product, I'll keep this checked. All right, and then indicate the weight of the product. So how heavy is this product? All right, so here you have the option to select the weight system that you prefer. In Malaysia, we go for the metric system. So if it's something pretty light, you want to select grams instead of kg. If it's something a little bit heavier, you might want to go for kg instead of gram. So in my case, a t-shirt is considerably light, so I'll go for grams. Okay, so maybe it is 200 grams. I don't know. Okay, I'm just making this up. All right, so once you've indicated the weight, the next thing we need to do is to configure the customs information. Okay, so where is this product from? So if you're shipping this product outside of Malaysia, this will be quite important because it will be used to calculate things like custom duties. But if you're shipping this within Malaysia, meaning your warehouse is in Malaysia or your suppliers in Malaysia or your drop shippers in Malaysia, typically this doesn't matter too much, but you can still put Malaysia. Okay, so if you have a HS code for your product, you can key this in. But if not, leave it empty as well, right? So once this shipping information has been configured, let's now move on to the variants section. Okay, so variants is something you need to configure only if your product comes in different variants, meaning for a t-shirt that might be size, for cakes that might be size as well as flavors, toppings, things like that. But if your product doesn't have any variants, you can leave this unchecked. Okay, so in the case where you are selling a product with multiple variants, let me show you how you can set it up. Okay, so make sure to first check this box. Okay, so here you can see options, and then the variants are here. Okay, so you have size. Okay, so what options are available for size? Normally you have S, M, L, XL. Okay, so To separate these options, to separate these variants, you can use a comma. Okay. All right. So if you have other variants, feel free to add more. But in my case, there are no other variants. Okay. So here you can see it has created this full set of variants, S, M, L, and XL. So you can configure things from your price, quantity, and even the SKU. So in the case of shirts, typically the price doesn't change according to the size. But in some cases, for example, if you're selling a cake, your price might differ depending on the size. A bigger cake will be more expensive than a smaller cake, definitely. So here is where you can change your product price. Okay, so in my case, because the prices are the same, I don't change anything here. But as you can see, I now have extra fields for quantity for each of these sizes. So I have to make sure that I fill it in as well. So make sure this is accurate. How many pieces of M do you have? How many pieces of XL, and so on. Okay, so this is how you configure your variants. Of course, you can also add your SKUs if you have any. Okay, don't forget to save the changes that you've made by clicking on save on the top here. Okay, so we're almost done. I have a few more sections to go. Okay, at the bottom of this page, you'll find the search engine listing preview. Okay, so if you want to configure your SEO, you can do it here. Just click on edit website SEO. Okay, so if you are familiar with SEO, you can add in all your optimization tags here. If you are not familiar with SEO, maybe leave it alone. Okay, so this is the listing that your customers might see on Google when they Google for your particular t-shirt. Alright, so if you don't change anything, what happens is that Shopify will automatically take the title indicated here, your product title, okay, as well as the description that you've included here. Okay, that's by default. All right, so if you want to change it, just edit it here. You can even edit the URL. Okay, so it depends on you. All right, so for SEO, that's about it. Pretty straightforward. The next thing we want to do is look at the right hand side of this product page. You'll see here we have the product status, okay, active or draft. So anything that you are still working on, you want to keep it in draft mode. Okay, so once you've done editing, all the details are correct, you can enable the active mode. Okay, so online store, manage channels and apps. Okay, so here it's by default available on your online store. All right, so that doesn't require any changes. The default works just fine. Okay, so if you want to schedule this product to be available for only a specific period of time, here's where you can do it. Okay, you will schedule the availability. Okay, so when will this product be available? So this is particularly useful is if your product is limited edition, if you're dropping a product and you don't want it to be like continuously available, you want to cut off the add to cart, the product page by a specific time, you can do that. But if your product is pretty much evergreen, you want it there all year round, you don't have to do anything here, just close it. Okay. Alright, so the last section is the organization. So this is how you keep your products organized, how you can display your products to your customers, and how they can find your products. Alright, so product typed. Okay, so this is a shirt. Okay, I can add shirt, so you just add it in right here. Okay, for collections, we haven't set up any collections yet, so there's nothing much we can do here for now. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, so once you have configured all of these, you can now set up, and you're happy with the details that you've added to your product, set the product status as active and save it. Okay, so as you can see, now your product is active. All right. So with that, you've successfully set up your product page. Now let's look at how you can set up a collections page. As we saw earlier, you can organize your products by collections, but right now we only have a homepage collection. This isn't quite enough. We need more collections for organization. So now let's take a look at how you can set up your own collection page. On your left hand side, under products, click on collections. Okay, so right now by default you have one homepage collections page, but we want to have a more specific collection page, such as shirts, skirts, socks, and so on. Okay, so how you create a collection is pretty simple and straightforward. So click on create collection. Alright, so name your collection. I'll name it shirts, so it means this collection will have all the shirts that I sell. Okay, so you can have a description here or not, it depends on you. For this demo, we'll leave it blank. Okay, so there are two ways for you to set up a collections page. You can either do it manually, that means adding a product to a collections page one by one, or you can automate the process. So whether you go for the manual or automated sorting manner depends on your product type and the quantity of products that you have. So if you have a very small collection that is comprised of very unique products, you might want to go for the manual method. But if you have a large collection of products, maybe a few hundred or thousands, doing it manually will be very, very tedious. So for those for stores with a larger catalog, I would recommend going for the automated route. Okay, so if you're going for the automated route, you have to set the conditions under which a product will be categorized under one collection. So you have here two types of conditions. Products must match all conditions, or products must match any condition. Okay, so when a product has to match all conditions, so it means all the conditions that you set here has to be valid before a product is added to the collection. But if you go for any condition, it means that, okay, if you have 3 conditions, as long as it matches one of these conditions, then this product can come into this collection. Okay, what type of conditions will also depend on the type of collection you have here. Okay, so for this particular collection, it's straightforward. I'll want to have all conditions match, just one condition. So as long as the product type is equal to shirts, okay, as long as the product type is equal to shirts, I'll have this product be categorized under shirts. Okay, so once you have set up this collection, you can save it. Okay, so once you've saved it, you'll see that you only have one way to add the products to the collection now. Okay, so if you have selected manual, then the manual conditions will show up, and if you've selected the automated option, then this will show up. Okay, so it's important to understand that you cannot change the way products enter a collection once you have saved the collection. Okay, so you have to be very careful, think about what it means. Okay, if you really want something to be sorted manually or automatically. All right, because once you have it up, you can't change it anymore. Okay, so let's take a look at the collection. Alright, so as you can see, when I open this collection, the shirt will automatically be there. Okay, that's because of the condition that I've set here, shirts. Okay, so collections are pretty useful for a lot of things, like putting products that go in one cell together. So let's say, you know, I want to have a collection where all the products get 20% off. You can do that. You can categorize that. Or you say, okay, you know, this is you know, all these products are on clearance. Okay, you can also create a collection for that. Okay, so there are a lot of reasons why you want to categorize products in collections. Alright, so that's it for this week's tutorial. In this week's tutorial, you've learned how to set up a complete product page, as well as to set up a collection page to organize your products. In next week's tutorial, we'll move on to another part of a Shopify store that's pretty essential to launching, and that is to choose a theme and customize it. So if you're interested to learn more on how to set up your own Shopify store in Malaysia, tune in next week for part 3 of this tutorial. Thanks for your time watching this tutorial. I hope it has been valuable to you and you've learned something new that you can use to set up your Shopify store. I hope to see you again in my next tutorial. Bye bye.